Good afternoon and salutations. My name is Calypso, I came at Carousel, and welcome to the stream. Alfie. Alfie? What's up? What do you need? Alfie? Alright, well, anyway, we're back with, an Octave 12. Wait, I was thinking about Fatal 12. An octave higher. Jesus, already. Well, okay. Let's do this weird, convoluted plan Frederic has for... I don't know what his plan is. Winning Elise over with a sorcerer with the sorcerer match. I don't know. This is fucking weird. But anyway, let's get. Oh, God. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Sorcerer Stadium of the Kingdom of Overture. We have some exciting matches this evening, so sit tight and enjoy the show. I'm already standing at the center of the hexagon. My opponent is in front of me, and the 6 crystal balls are floating above there are 6 vertices. All around us, thousands of spectators are watching. For our first match, we have the most promising sorcerer in the teenage group, Frederic Godwin. Some of you may remember how our young Lord Godwin even defeated Commander Wolf of the Dragoons last Wind Day. Taking a glance at this VIP seats, I see Elise, Franz, and Aretha sitting in the front row. I ensured that they received the best seats in the house. Oh, you remembered her name! And his opponent, Gustav Nabokov. My opponent is a young man around my age, whose name I have never heard of before, probably a rookie player. Following a signal from the referee, the orchestra opens up the match with a moderately fast and elegant piece. It keeps one on the edge, but not so much as to send one into a panic. My objective, as with every match, is to destroy 2 of my opponent's 3 crystal balls while protecting my own crystals. If 2 of my crystal balls get destroyed, it will be my loss. Gustav is already gathering his power, courage, so I have to begin preparing my attack as well. He will likely attack with fire, so should I counter with my own fire? No, that won't do. My gifted magical traits are willpower and compassion, but because I don't like using compassion magic, I always use courage. However, Elise is watching this match. She's gifted in courage, so I can't let her see how weak my fire is. There's no other choice. I'll have to win with sheer willpower. Just as I start gathering willpower, Gustav suddenly twists his body and turns his back to me, firing a fireball at one of my crystals on his side of the arena. Rookie mistake number 1. Shooting at a crystal behind your starting position as soon as the match begins is certainly an effective strategy to destroy one of your opponent's crystals. You are closer to the crystal than your opponent is, and since you're standing between it and him, it is very difficult for your opponent to protect that crystal. It's almost guaranteed that you will successfully break your opponent's crystal. However, no professional sorcerer players use this strategy. Why? Because it is also a surefire way to make sure that you'll lose the match. In order to aim and attack the crystal behind you, you have to turn away from your opponent, exposing your back to him, leaving you completely vulnerable. Summon! A barrage of rocks take form above Gustav's exposed back and rain down mercilessly onto him. Ugh! The rocky downpour topples him over, causing his body to clash against the glittery marble floor, with almost as much force as the rocks storming his body. I gaze far beyond Gustav, who is now laying face down on the cold floor. to see my crystal, which has been reduced to smoky ashes. That's 1 point for him, but let's see how long he can keep fighting in the state he is in now. For a while I just stand still, enjoying the crystal's peace. For me, battle music is half the fun of Sorcerer. Gustav picks himself up with great effort, huffing and puffing, his face wincing in pain. If I hadn't been so lenient with my attack, I would have won by knockout. Let that be a lesson for you. Damn. He powers up his magic again. This time it's intelligence. Fire and water. Interesting combination. A violent stream of water streams out of his right hand, but I swiftly dodge it. But he's still not done. While the jet of water is still spreading out of his right hand like an airborne river, he is already preparing another one with his left. Okay. But I'm not standing still either. I dodge the second water attack just as easily as the first. Another one comes, but I keep moving away from danger. Farther and farther away. Gustav stops attacking me when he finally realizes what I've been doing. I am now only 4 or 5 long strides away from one of his crystals, to which I've slowly been getting myself closer and closer. I distracted him by dodging him. Seeing that he's about to have his crystal destroyed, Gustav roars and breaks into a hurried sprint, desperate to save his crystal. Rookie mistake number 2. When you find yourself in a situation where your opponent is nearing one of your crystals, while you're still considerably farther away from it, a rookie panics and runs after their opponent in an attempt to prevent him from destroying the crystal. However, the arena is wide, and unless you're able to run very fast indeed, it is unlikely that you'll be able to catch your opponent before he gets to your crystal. A better course of action is to run the other way, to one of your opponent's crystals, putting you in the same tactical position as your opponent. Worst case scenario, you and your opponent both lose a crystal. Best case scenario, your opponent stops going after your crystal in order to stop you. In my current situation, if Gustav went after one of my crystals, I would have no choice to try to stop him because I'm already down 1 crystal, whereas all of his crystals are still intact. Yet, he is now frantically running at me as though his pants were on fire. Summon. A solid wall of rock emerges from the floor under his crystal as I raise my hand upwards. The crystal shatters into a shower of sparkling glassy shards. A lot of esh sounds. Gustav stops running. He bends forward and places his hands on his knees. He is now not only in pain, but also out of stamina from sprinting. I walk up to him, my pace in harmony with the orchestra, careful to maintain a safe distance from Gustav. Arrgh! With determined roar, he is back to his fighting stance, steeling his battered body to face me again despite the fatigue and the pain. A sudden burst of magical aura overflows from his body. His right hand is shaking, struggling to contain the energy of his intelligence. His left hand is heating up with courage. He's ready to unleash something big. Rookie mistake number 3. When you find yourself in much poorer physical condition than your opponent, you resort to a desperation attack in the hopes of damaging your opponent enough to even out the odds. This almost never works out. Why? Because your poor physical condition weakens your magic, reducing your chances of winning in direct combat. Your best bet in this situation is to maintain a safe distance between you, your opponent, and your remaining crystals, while waiting for an opportunity to attack his crystals. Yes, yet Gustav seems to be betting everything on one last attack. Streams of water come out from his hand again, but this time the water freezes as soon as it is in the air. Gustav has unleashed a nice attack, a combo magic spell. Without thinking, I charge right in through an onslaught of ice shards. I let raw mana congregate in my hands and summon it, creating a spherical barrier that envelops my whole body as I continue charging. The ice shards hit the barrier and dissolve into icy water that coats the barrier and eats into it. Within seconds, my barrier is blasted away into nothingness, but it has absorbed most of the ice magic. What remains of the attack is only enough to give me a chill, and I don't stop running. In no time, I'm face to face with this rookie. Gustav is virtually stunned due to the stress the ice magic has inflicted on his fatigued body. He registers the danger he's in, but he is too battered, winded, and drained to even stand up straight. This is it, my friend. Summon! Again, I summon a flock of rocks. They crash down on Gustav like a rain shower, knocking him down to the ground. Not wasting any time, I dash to another one of his crystals until I am close enough to conjure a massive boulder above the crystal. I let gravity handle the rest. I gaze back at Gustav, who is still out cold. I might have overdone it a little. Spectacular! The match is over, ladies and gentlemen. Frederic has effortlessly shattered 2 of his opponent's crystals. Woo, yay. That was a really good match. Congratulations on your victory, Frederic. Yes, that was a great match! Congratulations. I joined Elise and the others in the VIP seating area after the match. They are surely impressed with the ease with which I took care of my opponent. A splendid performance, if I say so myself. Elise even congratulated me! But it doesn't look like she has forgiven me yet. Well, my opponent was just a beginner, so it really wasn't all that impressive. Oh, he was a beginner? That must be why you only use willpower magic. He must have been going easy on him. Yes, you might say I was giving him a handicap. The next match begins soon after the staff is finished replacing the crystals and reconstructing the arena. It's another match between amateurs, although it is time from a higher age bracket. We all watch the match attentively, every so often commenting about interesting magic spells or particularly clever strategies that the sorcerers employ. Hey, I'm thirsty. I'm gonna go get some drinks. Oh, I'll go with you. No! Dumbass! I'm thirsty too. We'll bring back enough for everyone, so you just stay here. But... God damn it! Before Elise can say anything, Franz and Aretha have already disappeared, leaving us alone. This is my chance to apologize to Elise. Elise. Yes! She still won't look me in the eye. I'm sorry. Huh? Unless she meets my gaze, wide-eyed and flustered. I'd like to apologize about what I said to you 2 days ago. She's fidgeting in her seat, looking down at her feet. I suppose she won't make this easy for me. I saw you going to Maison du Beauvoir, so I just thought that you were... At any rate, it's entirely my mistake. Just because you were there doesn't mean you worked there. I am very sorry about my behavior the other day. Elise hesitates for a moment. Finally looks me straight in the eyes. Okay. Okay? You'll forgive me? Yes, I do. God. Oh, thank you, Elise. Okay. Elise might have forgiven me, but she doesn't seem that comfortable being alone with just me. I should say something to her. Okay. Magic. This line could lead her to ask why he didn't use courage, and that could be a thing, but I don't know. Sorry, orchestra. They both like music, and what's... Actually, I wonder... Hold on. Actually, okay. If I see a single point in this in this row, I will go back to... I will load the save. Do not test me. Okay, this one probably is the best, so which one do I think is going to go the worst for Frederic? This one... she might discover that you don't actually use courage, or you're not gifted in courage. This one, I don't know where this one could possibly go. And this one, what do you think about the orchestra? Well, they both like music, so that is like common ground, but so I'm gonna avoid that at all costs. This might be interesting though. I'm sure this isn't gonna lock me into anything that I don't want to see, so. What do you think about my magic? What do you think about my magic? Huh? I think you're very strong. Did you enjoy the match? Yeah, the match was enjoyable. The music was wonderful. I didn't know orchestras were used at sporting events. This is like being at a concert, but more exciting. Okay, so I went to music anyway. That's interesting. I wonder if that didn't actually matter. It makes me happy to see Elise enjoying herself. Yes, Symphony in C minor, Odore di Spirito Adolescente. A hauntingly beautiful piece indeed. Is that the title? Wow, I really, really, really love that piece. I wish I could play it on the piano. But it's an orchestral piece. I know, but if I had the score, I think I could rearrange it into a piano piece. Is that so? You must be a great musician. No, I'm not that great. And I don't know if I could be called a musician yet, although I hope to become one someday. Did me saying I hate Frederic even matter? I hope it did. You definitely have the talent for that. When you played the piano at my house, I thought you were really amazing. The memory of listening to Elise's piano resurfaces in my mind, reminding me of the pleasing sound of her music. Unfortunately, it also reminds me of how I had lost control of myself and upset her so badly. It's not about controlling yourself, it's about whether or not you see Elise as a person, and it's not clear that you do. I don't know if I said that right, but I hope the meaning came across. Yeah, it's about whether you see Elise as a person, and I'm not sure you do. Yeah, okay, good. Thanks. I can't wait to play the piano again. Well, you can. I was going to say that she could come to my house to play the piano anytime, but it's probably not very wise to bring such things up just yet. If you could fix the broken piano, you would be able to play to your heart's content. Yeah, exactly! I hope I'll be able to fix it soon. The mere mention of that piano is able to lift Elise's spirit. Hello, guys! We have come bearing gifts. Just drinks, I'm afraid. Here, Elise, Frederic. Thanks. Thank you. Hours later, after all the matches have ended, we head home together. That's when I learned that Elise is staying together with Aretha, which means she doesn't work at Maison de Beaufort after all. I'm relieved, to be honest. Even after we part ways, I can't stop thinking about Elise. I'm glad I was able to make amends with her. It's also nice that she seemed to have genuinely enjoyed watching the sorcerer matches. However, I could still feel that she was somehow distant. The way she talked to Franz and Aretha is different from the way she talked to me. The way she smiled to them is not the same as the way she smiled to me. There's a certain closeness between them that just doesn't exist between us, and it never will. That's unavoidable considering how I botched her first impression of me. But still, I feel jealous. I want to be close to her. I want to be an important someone for her. I want her to need me. I want to be able to make her smile. I want to make her happy. Okay, you're gonna have to start being a better person, and I don't know. How long is this game? I don't know how long we have. I sat back in a chair, tilting my head backward. I gazed through the ceiling, the roof, the sky, and the stars, and whatever lies beyond, right into a void as empty and as dark as my heart. So empty yet so full. So dark yet so bright. For Elise is there. She's now forever in my mind. When my consciousness returns to the room, my eyes alight on the piano. The piano! Right at this instant, it seems to shine brighter even than the magical light that illuminates the room. The piano, with which Elise performed a sonata so mesmerizing that it blinded my spirit and silenced my mind. The piano from which her music came to life. The music that symbolizes her the fuck is that word? Veriest dream. Wait, what? Hold on. What is that? No. Veriest. A superlative form of very? Wait, you can superlative vary? Well, what's the comparative form of vary? Hold on, varier? What? Comparative of vary. Yeah, can't use it. But you can... It's a superlative? Okay, let me look up superlative of vary. That's... Okay, well, that's just strange. But okay. Her veriest dream. That's right. Music is the one thing beyond all of this that can give Elise happiness. To one day be a musician is her dream. It is fine if Frederic wants to do something nice for Elise. It is okay because Elise gets something good out of it. But I will not accept him until he realizes that Elise isn't a prize that he wins for becoming a better person. He just has to be a better person. I have to be convinced that he's not doing it just to have Elise. It's gonna take a lot to convince me of that, though. I wish I could do something to help her achieve that dream. I wish to do something for her, for Elise. Oh, am I gonna get... That sounds like something that's gonna be copyright claimed on YouTube. Anyway, she said she loved the piece that accompanied my match, Symphony in C minor, Odore di Spirito Adolescente. She wanted to rearrange it for the piano so that she could play it herself. Odore di Spirito Adolescente is a fairly well-known piece. I'm sure Father has the score somewhere in the music room. I get up to go into the music room to look for the score. My father is a fan of string instruments. Technically, the piano is a stringed instrument. Right? Isn't that right? So in the music room, you can find some violins, some violas, a cello, and a contrabass. Contrabass? I haven't been in here since I was a child, without any idea where I'm supposed to be looking. I start with a bookcase next to the contrabass. On the shelves, there are well over 1,000 sheets of music. I imagine how exhausting this is going to be. Frankly, I would give up if I didn't remember that I was doing this for Elise. After going through 20 or 30 sheets, I realized that they are sorted by composer. So I tried to find where music from the composer of Odore di Spirito Adolescente is located in the bookcase. Wow, this writing really wants me to say Odore di Spirito Adolescente as much as possible. I look and look, but I'm unable to find it. I've gone through the whole bookcase, but I still can't find any scores from the right composer, so I move on to the next bookcase. It has a similar number of sheets. I look and look again, but the scores of the composer's music are still nowhere to be found. As I walk to the next bookcase, I glance at the chronometer. It's almost midnight. Normally I'd have gone to sleep, but now I want to do this for Elise. At least I find a score of a symphony. There it is again! Written by the same composer as Odore di Spirito Adolescente. What's Odora? It's something of the spirit of adolescence, right? I wonder what Odora means. So the score I'm looking for should be somewhere in here. Unfortunately for me, this composer is quite prolific, and his music occupies a whole shelf in the bookcase. With a sigh, I start from the left, reading the pieces off one by one. I can't give up now because I want to do something, anything for Elise. At least I reach the end of the shelf, but I have still not come across the correct piece. It should be here together with the scores of other musical pieces from the same composer, but it's not. Does my father not have the score for this piece? That isn't possible, but where is it then? I scanned the room. Let's see. My father and the butlers are too meticulous to have started these scores badly. Ah, my father's work desk. On the desk are a few sheets of paper, but none of them are the score. Then noticing a drawer on the desk, I open it. And there's the score inside the drawer. It's been hiding here all along. Reading Symphony in C minor. Say it with me. Odore di spirito adolescente. On a piece of paper has never been this gratifying. But now, a problem. What am I going to do with the score? There's only one copy of it here. Since the score is in the drawer of my father's desk, I expect he's doing something with it. That means I can't just give it to Elise. I have no other choice but to copy the score by hand. I wonder what would it take to make a copy machine, like a copy machine is a magic machine. Anyway, I take it to my room. I have to quickly make a copy of it because I have to put the script back inside the drawer before my father starts work tomorrow morning. Oh, that face. The chronometer shows that it is a little after midnight. Sleepiness overcomes me, as it always does on a night after a sorcerer match. With a pen in one hand, and the score and empty sheets of paper on my desk, and my listless body wearily pushed on a chair, I set out to copy the score. All 24 pages full of obscure musical symbols. Let's see. That note goes here, that one here, and is that on the third or the fourth line? Oh, the fourth line. Wait, this note isn't colored in. This one has a flag on the stem. I feel drowsy. Maybe I should get one of our servants to do this for me, but no, I can't do that. They might make a mistake. This is my responsibility. Half an hour later, I'm done with the first page. That was too slow. With that kind of pace, I won't be able to finish it before morning. I have to try doing this faster. I grab a new sheet of paper and proceed to the next page, forcing myself to stay awake and struggling to keep my mind from shaking. Get like coffee or something. Halfway done, I thought of checking the chronometer, but decided that there was no point. I'll just keep going. I'm tired, but I've decided to do this for Elise, because I want to see her smile. If she will only smile, it would have been worth doing this. It will have been worth a sleepless night. When the notes in the score start to get blurry, I slap myself to stay awake. As time wears on, I have to slap myself more and more often. Finally, it's done. I check the whole thing to make sure that I haven't made any mistakes. Then I carefully set the copy aside on my desk and quickly return the original score to its drawer in the music room. Back in my room, I collapsed onto my bed, drowned in exhaustion, but satisfied that I was able to make this gift of music that Elise wanted. With this, I can help Elise to achieve her dream. At the very least, she'll be happy that she can play the music she loves on the piano. I wonder what kind of smile she'll make when I give this to her. The thought puts a smile on my own face. I'm happy to have done something for her. For Elise. I slip into a deep sleep as the first light of morning slips into my room. Yeah. Water Day, 30, Sextilis, AM 313. I am woken up at the sound of knocking on my door, followed by the voice of a maid from behind the door. My lord, lunch has been served. With a groan, I force myself to get up and drag myself downstairs. Father has gone out somewhere, so I sit by myself at the dining table. Some dishes are already prepared. Suddenly aware that I had missed breakfast this morning, I devour a thin slice of marinated raw salmon, barely tasting it. Despite having slept through the morning, my eyelids still feel heavy as heavy as lead. Well, at least I managed to copy that score for Elise. I take a bite of veal loin roast, but before I can judge its taste, I remember that I have to give the copy of the score to Elise before she leaves the conservatoire for home. Hastily, I finish my meal, shower, and leave the house. Oh. Okay. Why, if it isn't young Lord Godwin? Ugh, what brings you to my humble laboratory? I've come to the laboratory after arriving at the conservatoire in a taxi carriage, but for some reason Elise isn't here. Neither is Franz. Instead, I see the professor who had visited my father last week. Yesterday, I used sorcerer as an excuse to look for Franz and Elise, but in my haste, I hadn't thought of any reason why I might come here today. I'm looking for Franz. Oh, ho, ho, ho. I didn't know the two of you have become so close. It's too bad, but Franz left this morning. Where did he go? The factory. He hadn't been seeing any progress with this assistant's magic, so he thought she should try reproducing the effect in the original setting. He took Elise back to the slums? I see. The factory. Thank you very much, Professor. You're welcome, young lord. Okay. At first, the taxi carriage driver refused to take me all the way to the factory, but he's finally convinced when I offered to double the fare. Now, where is Elise? Franz had mentioned that he had seen Elise try to fix the piano in some yard behind the factory, so they must be in the same yard right now. Now, where might that be? I scanned my surroundings, but there isn't any place that resembles a yard. Instead, I see a worker near the factory entrance. I call out to her. Oh, is it Jude? Hey, you! It is. Are you talking to me? Yes, I'm looking for a yard. A yard? Which one? I don't know. I was told there was a backyard to this factory, one with a piano in it. Oh, the piano. Yeah, sure. Just follow the path and you'll find it. Okay. Her direction leads me to a narrow grassy path sandwiched between the concrete fence surrounding the factory complex and the outer wall of a factory building. After walking several hundred feet, an open area is visible at the end of the path. As I draw closer to the opening, I can feel a concentration of compassion magic emanating from it. The compassion magic paints my vision with vast whiteness, and then I hear it. A piano sound. As soon as my vision returns a half second later, I rush to where the sound comes from. Frederic? Huh? Frederic, what are you doing here? Elise is facing the piano, her downturned hands suspended a few inches above the keyboard. Franz is standing next to her. They blink at my unannounced presence. The piano? Was it fixed? Not at all. Elise presses some keys, but no sounds come out. But your magic certainly feels different here than in the lab. If we could get enough data for analysis, we might be able to figure out a way to make it work. Then let's continue, Franz. Sure. The piano's still broken, so why did I hear a piano sound? Wait, did I really hear it? No, there couldn't have been a sound. It was just my imagination. I thought I had heard something, but now I know that I didn't really hear anything. What a strange feeling. But I'm not here to think about the piano. Ahem, Elise. Yes? Here. I hand the copy of the score to Elise. What is this? It's the score of Adora di Spirito Adolescente. Oh, yesterday's sorcery music, right? She flips to the page with a blank look on her face. Yes, didn't you say you wanted to play it on the piano? Yeah. I think playing this piece on the piano would be fun. Is this for me? Yes, of course. I made it for you. Well, thank you, Frederic. She clutches the score to her chest with a weak smile. The same kind of smile one gives to strangers at one's father's birthday party. Elise, shall we continue? Yeah, let's continue. Facing the piano again, with both palms open in front of the piano, Elise lets her mana flow through her straightened arms to her hands. Franz tries pressing him some keys. Hearing no sounds, he shakes his head slowly. Still broken, as expected. Ooh. Let's try it again. Okay. Wait, what about the score I gave her? Isn't she gonna say anything about that? This is why I know he's not doing it to actually for her, and then he's doing it for himself. When will you learn? Elise. Elise turned to me with the same emotionless expression. Yeah? Ignoring friends who were staring irately at me from the corner of his eyes, I say to Elise, after you've rearranged the piece for piano, you can play it at my house anytime you want. Oh, okay. Actually, Elise would rather play it on this piano, so she has to work on fixing it now. What's with this guy? I'm talking to Elise, damn it. It's getting on my nerves. I don't see you making any progress with your research. When will she be able to play that piano, I wonder? Francis is visibly annoyed. We would find an answer to the question much faster if we could work on it without any distraction. Distraction? I was just trying to do something for Elise. I wasn't trying to get in the way of her work. But it's true that she isn't too happy with me being here. I thought she'd be overjoyed after seeing this score, but she isn't. I feel foolish. Why did I come here? My fists are shaking. Ha! I just came to give her a way out of your stupid experiment so she won't have to deal with that. That piece of trash piano that anyone with a half a brain knows will never make a sound again. For a moment there's only silence. I can see surprise on both Francis and Elise's faces. Elise scowls and looks away. What am I doing? I'm upsetting Elise. Elise, who I work so hard to please. Then Franz explodes in anger. What? Didn't you convince Lord Godwin to fund my research because you wanted to support it? Right, I'm supposed to act as if I wanted to support his research, but he is really making my blood boil. I can't even talk to Elise without him interrupting and everything. Blah, blah, blah. Oh! Huh, okay. I want to put him through, like, a crucible, you know? Like, really make it so that he can never have any... as long as he acts the way he does, he's never going to have any relationships. But I also felt like I wanted to... Because these seem to be relationships that are in competition. So I wanted to bump up this as much as possible and keep this down as much as possible. So apologizing to friends would probably might add one, but not apologizing to friends might push him. I mean, I think I'd rather... Unless, of course, if I say don't apologize to friends, I then go to apologize to Elise. No. I'm going to... I do want him to be a better person. I just don't want him to do it just to get Elise a surprise. That's what I don't want. I am fine with Frederic learning to be a decent human being. So I'm going to apologize to friends. I'm sorry. Yes, I want to support this research. Without saying anything more, I turn away and walk back along the narrow path. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Outside the factory, the sun is already setting. Some workers are leaving the factory as others are going in, ready to work the night shift, although no excitement shows on their faces. And now I realize I have a problem. I don't know how to go back to the city. I should have had the taxi carriage wait for me here. Dumbass. I could try asking one of the workers to show me the way, but I don't feel like talking to anyone right now. I walk on the opposite direction from most of the workers. Their homes are probably even farther away from the city. I don't know where I'm going, but I keep walking. It's already sundown, but even during the day, this area must be dark, because the street is narrow and the buildings are blocking the sunlight. My steps are heavy. The combination of lack of sleep, frustration, and disappointment has drained me. Elise. I came to the factory today to give Elise a score because I thought it would make her happy. Because I thought I'd be able to see her smile, yet it did no such thing. Somehow I managed to upset her yet again. Why would she care? Having the score doesn't mean anything to her, because she doesn't have a piano to play the piece. She obviously wouldn't want to play the piano at my place, given what happened last time. What a fool. She still hasn't forgiven me. Even if she said she did, those are just words. In her heart, she doesn't feel forgiveness. And after hearing me say that the piano would never make a sound, she must hate me even more. How could this happen? Not only was I not able to see Elise smile, I managed to upset her again. How pathetic. No wonder Elise hates me. She should hate me. I guess I'll never see her again. I should stop bothering her. I should stop making her feel uncomfortable. I should disappear from her life. Good idea. That would be the best gift I could give her. That is the closest thing to happiness that I could offer her. If I'm being honest with myself, that is the only way I could manage to make Elise happy. And I want Elise to be happy. What was it that made me think I could do anything for Elise anyway? Ha, what a silly thought. All the money in the world, the best education money can buy, and it takes me this long to see something so obvious. Elise is doing just fine without me. She doesn't need anything from a man whose only skill is smashing crystal balls to orchestral accompaniment. She doesn't need me. Of course she doesn't need me. Dude, are you alright? I stop when I notice a man staring at my face. His clothes look as if a pig had been wearing it while rolling in mud. He reeks of dog shit. He's taller than me, but he looks half-starved. You were walking like a zombie, man. Are you ill? Get away from me, you filthy beggar. Hey, no need to be hostile. I was just worried about you, man. Whatever. Fuck off. You picking a fight? Do you think you can get away with that kind of attitude just because you're bourgeois? No. I can get away with it because I am me. Not so fast, young man. I think I need to teach you some respect. The other pearls around us are watching in anxiety. Some of them walk away quickly. What, are you gonna hit me with or something? Go ahead, try. Hey, don't push me, kid. I'll do it. Do it. I'm telling you to. Go ahead. Your call, buddy. The man pulls his fist back and swings it at my head. However, before it gets close, I unleash the mana that I have sadly amassed in my hands. In his unbalanced position, the man is quickly pulled down by an amplified gravity force, hitting the dirt hard. Ow. The man grunts while lying on his stomach. Even after the gravity is back to normal, he is still down on the ground. What was he thinking trying to fight without magic? I step over his body and continue walking. All the other pearls move away from me. Some of them go inside their houses. But there are two familiar men who keep standing without moving an inch, even as I draw near them. It's you again. This time you're looking for trouble. Get lost. I'm not in the mood. Neither am I. The libertine then speaks to his friend. Hey, let's do something about this arrogant little prick. Yeah, let's. The other libertine backs away. The first one brings his hand forward. Something big and round is materializing in front of his open palm. A boulder bigger than his upper body appears in the air, and then he controls the air around the boulder to fly it fast towards me. But this kind of attack is nothing for an experienced sorcerer like me. I raise my left arm, summon, and a thick wall shoots up from the ground, shielding me from my opponent's incoming ball of rock. Two masses of rock collide with each other. The impact scatters shards of rock across the street. Before they fall on the ground, my right hand is already straightened out toward my opponent, scorching and burning with courage. Summon. From my hand, a fire bursts forth, its flickering flames connecting my hand with the libertine's body. Ah! The fire completely consumes the man, obscuring his features. But even though he's burning, I can feel faith building up from him. A gust of wind blows across his body. It rakes the fire off his body like a tattered garment. Damn it! Still panting, the libertine member puts his left hand forward, again focusing on willpower, but this time with a greater amount of mana. Another boulder, much bigger than the last, materializes in front of his hand. With his other hand, he is readying faith. Hasn't he learned his lesson? But I'm not going with the same tactic. Instead, I dash toward the gigantic rock before him, with courage blazing within my hands. When I'm perhaps a body length from him, I open my two arms as wide as the boulder. Summon. And then widen my arms even more, stretching my hands apart as far as they'll go. Amplify! The big rock explodes right in front of the libertine, sending him flying backwards through the air. The explosion isn't deadly, but unless his partner can cast Revive, that man is down for the count. Even though I directed their explosion away from me, I too took a little of the impact from the sheer force of the burst of energy. The man lands on his back nearly 20 feet from where he stood. He doesn't try to cushion his fall. He's out cold. I look at the other libertine. Now, will you stay the hell away from me, or must I do the same to you? He just stays silent while looking at me unblinking. I'm tired of dealing with this libertine nonsense. I'm going to finish this quickly. Okay. Without giving him time to prepare himself, I summon a heap of rocks high in the air that rain down on the libertine member. He avoids the rock by jumping sideways with his left, but I follow his movement with my hand. A new clump of rocks appear in the air according to my hand's new position, and continue to rain down fiercely on him. He keeps dodging, but he is nearing a wall. He is nearing a wall, so he will have nowhere to go. All of a sudden, I feel the aura of his faith. He casts wind that blows on my rocks, sending them flying back at me. I quickly try to erect a rock wall to shield me, but his wind is too fierce. Before I can cast any spell, the speeding rocks have flowed into me like a stampede of wild horses. Ah! I fly backwards through the air, my body shaking with pain. I try to roll myself sideways in midair to lessen the impact of hitting the street, but there's no impact. Still in the air, I'm suddenly caught in a tornado that sends me hurtling upward. My body keeps tumbling higher and higher. I'm being jerked around violently and can't tell which way I'm pointed. Just when I slow down before reaching peak altitude, I feel scorching heat from below. Fire whirls up through the swirling wind and engulfs me. Ah! I can feel myself starting to cook. I concentrate a barrier on my body to minimize the damage, but it won't last long in a fire this powerful. Thankfully, the fire is soon extinguished because a gale hammers me from straight above. I plummet to the ground like a meteorite, my body leaving a smoking trail from the extinguished fire. This is cheating. This is illegal. You're not allowed to attack your opponent if he doesn't recover from your previous attack to already stance. This guy doesn't know how to fight. I think you don't know how to fight. The last thing I remember before everything was black is the street coming up to me. Fast. My guy got fucked up. Huh. That is funny. That's gonna do it. I want to see who's next, though. Who we have to look forward to next time we... Wind day 3160 AM 313. France. All right. Next time is France. So we'll save. And yeah. Oh, that was kind of annoying that this entire second hour was all Frederic, but whatever. I realized probably in the first hour at some point that we probably only have three points of view, because we have the student, middle class, lives in an apartment, friends here. We have the proletarian Elise, and we have the nobleman aristocrat, Frederic. That's probably why there's only three, and Aretha is not a point of view character. But, anyway, I can still be disappointed about it. Anyway, yeah, so, doing this game takes a lot out of me. Definitely not going to be able to do it tomorrow, so it'll be Cave Story Plus, probably for the rest of the week, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed, very interested in seeing how this game plays out, and I have, I'm not too worried, honestly. It feels like I have the right, I have the right, I have, I have enough control that I can steer things the way I want it to, that I want to see. Although it might be interesting to see to do a playthrough where Frederic gets everything he wants. I wonder how I could do that. I'll be on my own time though. I'm not gonna put that up. I'm just talking to myself. What else? I guess that's it. Yeah. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, you can follow on Twitch. You can subscribe to the YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. And also, if you're on YouTube, you can like and comment if you wish. If you wish to say something, if you wish to just, do that. But yeah, this has been an Octave Higher. I've been Calypso, aka Mint Carousel, and I'm signing out. Have a wonderful rest of your day.